it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Here is another Stamps of Life product that is going to be on HSN that I wanted to share with you today. It is a card base. It has a little swoosh, they call it the Swish card. It has this little curved edge at the bottom, and this piece here, this large piece, actually makes the A2 size card. So you can see instead of being a straight edged, it has this little curve on it, which is pretty unique and pretty cool, I think. And then it has these layering pieces, so you can die cut this large piece out of a color cardstock and use a second color to layer on if you wanted to. It also has this square piece that you can use as another layering piece for possibly the inside of the card. So once the card is folded, you can layer on another color on the inside if you wanted to use that piece for that. And then there's all these poinsettias, and there is a large, medium, and small, and there's some leaves, large and small. And then the inside piece, the stamens, and then there is a pine cone, and that's about it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus the shadow layer is 11 of these dies that can go on the inside. And then you have these 3 pieces here. So I want to show you how I'm gonna go ahead and make a card with you with this, and I want to show you how you can layer these poinsettias on each other, because you can see that you have the large, and then the medium one you can cut out of another color cardstock, and you can just layer all of these on top of each other, and it would add quite a bit of dimension on there, which would be really, really pretty. Oh, there's even another one. Look at this. There's 4 of these that you can add all of this dimension. Look how pretty that would be. So let's do it with some cardstock and cut some out, and let's take a look and see what that would look like. So I'm gonna cut some cardstock and I'll be right back. I've already done a bunch of die cutting, and I'm going to show you what I did. So I have this large leaf die, and I die cut in the banana cardstock. The next size down, I did 2 of them in the sunshine cardstock. Then the next size down is in the lemonade, and then the smallest size is also in the lemonade. And then the middle part is out of the pixie, and then I also used the dies for the leaves in the kiwi and the green apple, and I'm not sure I'm going to use all of these, but I just die cut them anyway. And then I'm just going to start out by ink blending. So the banana cardstock will get the banana ink, the sunshine cardstock will get the sunshine ink, then the lemonade and the pixie, kiwi, and then I've got to get my green apple. I forgot to get that one out. So when I ink blend, I am just going to take, for example, the banana ink, and I'm just going to add some ink just to the edges of all of these petals. And I'm just gonna show you how I do this one. I'm not gonna spend time on the video showing you all of them, because once you do one, it's the same process for all. So, all right, so I've already ink blended all of my edges. Now I'm gonna start building this flower, and I'm gonna start with these petals. And I am just going to add a dab right to the center, and then I'm gonna layer the top one right on there. And notice that I'm going in between the petals. So let me zoom this in just so you could see. So you have the large petal and the large petal, and then the smaller petal will go in between. Okay, so I'm just gonna layer the centers. So put more ink, more glue here in the center. And again, that is gonna go on as well. The petals are going to go in the center. So they're kind of overlapping. It's, you know, you have it every other petal. I don't know if that makes sense, so you can see. And then we're gonna go with the medium size. Again, put more glue here. Okay, so you can see the dimension that it's adding. And obviously you can also tell that I am not making a standard holiday themed card because I'm doing yellow for my flower. So I think this needs another one of the large petals underneath just because I added so many of the other size there. So I went ahead and die cut another banana. I think that will add some nice, a better look if I add another one of these. So I'm just gonna put some glue there and then put my petals between and press that down. Now I'm just gonna come in and just dab a little bit of glue down here just to hold some of these petals down. I don't want to put glue on the entire petal just because, look, I got glue on that one, just because I want to have some dimension. I'm going to add this little stamen in the middle, and I'm just putting glue on the center part, and I'm going to pop that right down. But these pieces, the little stamens, I'm just kind of bringing them up with my fingernail just to have some dimension here. So I don't want them to be flat. I'm just going to bring them up. So for my card base, for this particular die, I die cut a piece of the banana cardstock. So you can see that it puts a score line. So you're just going to fold up the score line and you can see the card base. And then for the top layering piece, which is this die, I die cut a piece of the pattern paper in the Pixie. This is from the Spring Basics pattern paper pad, and that is going to layer on just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. And then I'm just going to start positioning this, see where I want this to go on my card. And I do have these leaves, and I just need to just kind of see how I want them all, if I want to use the large ones. I don't think I'm going to end up using these very large ones, just because I think they're a little too big for what I'm going for here. So I will probably go with some of the medium size, and I just don't know where I'm going to put them all yet. So you would just need to get a feel for where you want everything. I also have a sentiment that's going to go on the front that I die cut already, and this is the Just a Note. This is from the Words for Jar. They have stamps and matching dies. So I'm using the dies only. They have different sentiments such as hello, thanks, for you, happy birthday, love you, and just a note. So I cut the shadow layer out of the Pixie and then the top layer out of the banana. So I want to somehow get that here on the left. So I need to just position everything so that it's not going off of my card. All right, so I have everything how I want it, and my suggestion is once you have everything the way you want it, take a picture of it with your phone. That way, once you take everything off and you start adding glue, you can look back and you can say, okay, that's how I had it. So I'm gonna lift this up. I'm gonna carefully take this flower up, and I decided I was gonna use these large flower dies, and you can see I kind of just piled them all underneath here. So I'm gonna try and just put some glue on these and get them exactly where I want them to be. So all right, so my petals are down, and I didn't put glue on the tips of them because I kind of wanted them to stick up a little bit. So now I'm ready to add my flower, but I want to make sure that I still have room when I put it down for my sentiment. Now it's okay if it extends past the card, past this card stock, because remember we still have all the way through the bottom of this. So if it extends past it, it's perfectly fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. And I'm not going to put glue all the way to the edge, but I am putting glue on most of the back. All right, so the only other thing is just lift these stamens up, just to make sure that they are sticking up. I think that adds some nice dimension. The last thing that I'm gonna do is put one of these sequins, these little epoxy dots, just right in the middle to add a little embellishment there. And that completes this card. So if you wanted to, you can actually add also another layer on the inside of the card using this die. So if you wanted to add another piece of colored cardstock or patterned paper, maybe white to offset, you can do that. But I'm gonna leave it as is because I like the yellow showing through and I think that just looks so beautiful. So there is my card using the poinsettia die with this swoosh die set and making it spring colors instead of the traditional holiday colors. Here is another card that I made using the Swish card base, and I also incorporated the Steffi Doll 3 stamp set, which I went ahead and stamped and colored her up. And notice that I'm using some of the small poinsettias, and I just outlined those on the swish of the card base. And some of the cardstock colors that I've chosen to use here are the chocolate, which is the dark brown, the blue jay, which is the light blue color, and then the pink color is the cherry cardstock, and those are all cardstock from the Stamps of Life. And then I did add a little embellishment in the middle of those flowers, and I went with all of the same colors that are in that pattern paper that is there on the front. So I just love the way that this card turned out as well. So if you are interested in this die set, head on over to the HSN website and do a search for the Stamps of Life, and it will be featured on HSN in the month of July 2020. Have a great day. Bye-bye.